to do question number 40. See, in this question you are asked to prepare opening and closing balance sheets. Now before starting the sum, I would like to give you a quick review of the things that are going to come in opening and closing balance sheet. So just see here what are the things used to come in opening and closing. See, in opening balance sheet we will record cash in hand in beginning, means in the beginning of the year how much we have cash in our hand. Then cash at bank, means the bank balance in the beginning of the year. Then current assets in beginning, means whatever current assets we had in the beginning of the year. Then again fixed assets in the beginning. I hope you know what are current assets and what are fixed assets. I don't have to explain it again to you because you have already done these things last year. Next, come to liability side, all liabilities in beginning of the year. Now the most important thing that we calculate in opening balance sheet, that is capital fund. And how do we calculate it? Assets minus liabilities. See here, capital fund is equal to assets minus liabilities. After completing the opening balance sheet, now come to closing balance sheet. Now see, assets and liabilities. In assets, cash in hand at the end of the year, cash at bank at the end of the year, means at the end how much cash balance you had in your hand, that one you are going to record, and how much bank balance you had at the end of the year, that is the closing balance, will be recorded here. Next, current assets at the end. Now come to fixed asset. In case of fixed asset, whatever opening balance you had, from that you have to deduct the depreciation. Then only you will get the closing balance for the fixed assets. Okay. Now come to liability side. The capital fund which you have calculated from opening balance sheet, that one will come in the closing balance sheet. Along with that, you have to add life membership fee or subscription. Life membership subscription, okay, don't forget, it's not only subscription, this is life membership fee or life membership subscription, if any is there. Okay. Next comes surplus. If there is a surplus, then you will add it, and if there is deficit, then you will deduct it. And lastly, liabilities, whatever liabilities you had at the end of the year, means the closing balance of the liabilities will be included. Okay. And after that, you will total out both the sides. The total of liabilities and assets should be equal. Now come back to the question. See here, there are two balances given. Okay. 31st March and 2012 and 31st March 2013. Now 31st March 2013 is our current year. Okay. This is our current year balance. Here we will write CY. That means this is our current year balance. Then obviously if this is the current year balance, this is previous year balance. Okay. What is the date given here? 31st March 2012. That means the ending of previous year. I have explained earlier also that the ending of previous year is treated as beginning of the current year. Means whatever balances is recorded here under 31st March 2012, that means the ending of the previous year will be treated as opening balance for the current year. Now see the first transaction, building subject to 10% depreciation. Now what is the opening balance of building? 18,000, and building is an asset. So the balance written under 31st March 2012, as I told you, will be treated as the opening balance. So building, how much is there in opening? 18,000. So we will write in opening balance sheet. Okay, first of all mention the date. What is the date given here for opening balance sheet? 31st March 2012. Okay, then here also we will write 31st March 2012, and for closing balance sheet we will write 31st March 2013. So this is our opening balance sheet, and this is our closing balance sheet. Now let us start recording the transactions. So first transaction is building Okay, in the opening balance we had 18,000, so we will record here building 18,000. Now when it comes to closing, now see, the question mark is given over here. That means we have to calculate. And how we are going to calculate it, just see. First write the opening balance, building. In the opening, how much we had? 18,000. Right in the inner column. Okay, 18,000 less depreciation. What is the rate of depreciation given over here? 10%. So here we will write depreciation at the rate 10%. Okay, 18,000 means 10% of 18,000. So 10% of 18,000 is 1,800. So if we deduct 1,800 from 18,000, it will give us 16,200. Okay, now going back to the next transaction. Next item is furniture. Okay, again we don't have furniture in the opening, means in the beginning of the year we didn't have any furniture. In the closing balance, how much we had? 6,000. Again subject to 10% depreciation. So first we will write furniture 6,000 is the balance of furniture, less again depreciation. Since it is given very clearly, as you can see, it is very clearly subject to 10% depreciation. That means we have to charge depreciation. Okay, so here we will write, we have already written 6,000 less depreciation at the rate 10%. That means 600. Okay, if you will deduct, means 10% of 6,000 is 600. Now 6,000 minus 600 is 5,400. Okay, now go back to the next item, stock of materials. Now stock of materials, in the beginning of the year, how much balance we had? 1,500. Okay, I explained you in the last question also that whenever the word stock will be added with any commodity or any good, that particular thing will become as asset. So here stock of materials means it is an asset. So first we will write the opening balance in the opening balance sheet. So here we will write stock of sports materials. How much balance we had in the opening? 1,500. Now next, again on 31st March 2013, how much balance we had? 600. Okay, see, in the beginning we had 1,500 and now we have 1,600. That means the balance has reduced. Okay, so first here we will write closing balance sports material. We can write here directly 600 in the closing balance. Okay, next, prepaid insurance. In the beginning of the year we had 900, and in the closing we had 1,800. Prepaid insurance is an asset. As we all know, whenever any expense is paid in advance, it is treated as asset. So we will record, first we will record in the opening balance sheet prepaid insurance. See, prepaid insurance, the opening balance is 900, and again in the closing balance sheet prepaid insurance, our closing balance is 1,800. Okay, clear? Now next item we have outstanding subscription. As we all know, subscription is an income. Okay, now whenever any income is outstanding, outstanding income means any income which you are supposed to get but you have not got yet. So outstanding subscription is an income, and since it is still due, so it will be recorded in the asset side. Okay, in the asset side, outstanding subscription is an asset. Now see, in the opening how much we had outstanding subscription, 3,600 in the beginning of the year and 2,400 at the end. So we will write here outstanding subscription in the asset side. Outstanding subscription $3,600 for the beginning of the year. Then come back to the closing balance sheet. Again, outstanding subscription. Our closing balance for outstanding subscription is 2,400. Okay. Now next item is advance subscription. Now as I told you, subscription is an income, and any income which we receive in advance is treated as liabilities. Okay, again I am telling, subscription is an income, and since we have received this income in advance, so it will be treated as liabilities. In the liability side, advance subscription, advance subscription. So here advance subscription, how much we had in the opening? 1,800. So we will write in the opening 1,800. Okay, and in the closing balance sheet, same, liability side, advance subscription will be recorded in the liability side. Advance subscription, in the closing balance we will write 1,200. Okay, now next item, outstanding locker rent, advance locker rent received. So from this we can make out that locker rent received means locker rent is an income. Now outstanding locker rent, I have told you, any income outstanding means, outstanding means what? You are supposed to get but you have not got. So any income which is outstanding, still due, that is treated as assets. Okay, so here locker rent is outstanding, means you have not got the income, so it will be treated as assets. Okay, so outstanding. But see here, in the opening we don't have any outstanding for locker rent, only in the closing balance sheet we have the balance. So in the opening we won't record outstanding locker rent, we will record only in the closing balance sheet outstanding locker rent. Okay, so outstanding locker rent, the balance is 1,800. Okay, now next item, advance locker rent received. Again I told you that any income which you have received in advance, that will be treated as liabilities. Okay, that will be treated as liabilities. But here as you can see, in the opening we don't have any balance for advance locker rent, we have only the closing balance, so that will go in the closing balance sheet liability side. So we will write advance locker rent, the closing balance is 600. Okay, now next item, outstanding rent for go down. Rent for go down means you have paid, means it is an expense, and any expense which is due, means you are supposed to pay but you have not paid, is treated as liabilities. Okay, any expense due, that is treated as liability. So it is mentioned very clearly, rent for go down, that means you have to pay and it is outstanding. Okay, so see, in the opening how much we had? 1,800, and in the closing 900. So in the liability side we will record outstanding rent for go down. The opening balance was 1800, and in the closing balance sheet we will record outstanding rent for go down 900. Okay, now next, 12% general fund investment 60,000, but see the closing balance is not given, question mark is given. That means you have to calculate this balance. Now 12% general fund investment means 12% is the interest rate on investment which you will get. Okay, so general fund investment should be recorded in the asset side because we record investment in the asset side. So we will write here general fund investment. So in the opening balance we have 60,000. Now coming back to the question, see here 12% general fund investment. As I told you, this is the interest rate. So let us calculate the interest. Working note. Okay, general fund investment. Okay, now how much we had general fund investment? 60,000. Now on this 60,000, interest, it should be 12% of how much? 60,000, and 12% of 60,000 is 1200. Okay, now see next item what is written here, then you can understand very easily. Accrued interest on above means on 60,000 is 1200 at the end of the year. That means the total interest which you are supposed to get from general investment, you have not got it. Accrued means, the word accrued means amount which is due to you, means you are supposed to get but you have not got, just like outstanding. Okay, so in the closing, how you will write? General fund investment. What was the opening balance? 60,000. Okay, now with this we will add accrued, means the interest which you are supposed to get but you have not got yet. So accrued interest, and the interest was 1200. So at the end of the year your total general investment will be, the value of total general investment will be 61,200. Clear? Okay, next item, cash balance. See, cash balance in the beginning of the year we had 300 and at the end 19,200. So cash balance is an asset, so we will write here in the opening balance sheet cash. For cash balance we will write cash in hand. Okay, cash in hand in the beginning of the year we had 300. Okay, and in the closing balance sheet we will write cash in hand. Closing balance sheet we will write 19,200. Okay, now let us see the next item, bank balance. Okay, bank balance, we had the opening balance but we don't have closing balance. Clear? So for bank balance we will just record it in the opening balance sheet. Okay, again cash at bank, in the opening balance sheet we are recording 600. Okay, now see the last transaction, bank overdraft. Overdraft means negative balance in your bank account. How much you have in your bank balance, that is less than what you have, less than what you have to pay to the bank. Overdraft means you have negative balance in your bank account, means you have to pay more to the bank. Now how much you have in the opening, you don't have any bank overdraft, but in the ending you have bank overdraft of 600. And whenever you need to pay anything which is due, is treated as debt, and debt means liabilities. Debt means liabilities. So bank overdraft, we don't have opening balance, so we are recording in the closing balance. Bank overdraft, the closing balance is 600. Okay, now we have some additional information also. What is the additional information given? Entrance fee received 6,000, life membership fee received 6,000. Okay, surplus from income and expenditure account 18,000. Okay, we have surplus already calculated from income and expenditure is 18,000. It is the policy of the club to treat 60% of entrance fee and 40% of life membership fee as revenue nature. Revenue nature means income. Okay, so 60% of entrance fee will be treated as income, and the rest amount will come in closing balance sheet, as we all know, and 40% of life membership fee will be treated as revenue nature, and the rest will come in closing balance sheet. Okay, first we do that, we need to calculate the capital fund from the opening balance sheet. Let us make the total first. Okay, now if we calculate the asset side, we will get a total of 84,900. Here also we will write in the closing balance sheet 84,900. Now we will calculate capital fund. And how we are going to calculate capital fund? Capital fund balancing figure. How we will calculate? I told you, from all these assets we need to deduct the liabilities. From all these assets we need to deduct the liabilities. So from 84,900, if we deduct these two liabilities, then we will get 81,300 as our capital fund. Now this capital fund will come directly in the closing balance sheet. Okay, so here we will write in the closing balance sheet capital fund. In the inner column we will write 81,300. Now already the surplus is given over here, so we will record here add surplus. The surplus should be added with the capital fund, surplus 18,000. Now going back to the question again, see here, entrance fee received 6,000, but out of this 6,000, 60% of entrance fee is of revenue nature. So let us do the calculation. Entrance fees. What is the value of entrance fee? 6,000. Okay, now less revenue nature means whenever it is of revenue nature, that will go in income and expenditure account, income side. So less 60% of 6,000 will give us less 3,600. Okay, now this 3,600 will go in income side, and how much is remaining? 2,400. This 2,400 will be treated as capital received. Okay, and will go in closing balance sheet. Clear? So now this 2,400 will be recorded in the closing balance sheet. So we will record here just below entrance fees 2,400. Now next, again see the additional information. Life membership fees received 6,000. You have received total life membership 6,000, but 40% of life membership fees will be treated as revenue, is of revenue nature, so will be treated as income, and the remaining will come in the closing balance sheet. So first let's do the calculation again. Life membership fees, your life membership fees, the value of life membership fee is 6,000 less revenue nature 60%, not 60, sorry, 40%. Okay, 40% of 6,000 will be 2,400. Now this is of revenue nature, that means this will be treated as income. And how much is remaining? 3,600. Okay, 3,600 is remaining, so this one will be treated as capital received, and ultimately this will go in closing balance sheet. Okay, now this one, this 3,600 we will record here. So we will add with the capital fund life membership fee, total is 3,600. So now we will get all over total 81,300 plus 18,000 plus 3,600, we will get a total of 1,02,900. Okay, now if we total both the sides, okay, now we have to total both the sides, so we will get the total. Here we will get 1,08,600, and here also the total will be 1,08,600. So this is